Ray-Ban Meta glasses come with open-ear audio, so you can listen to your favorite music without blocking out the world around you.
Hey Meta, play Gorgeous.
Here's Gorgeous by Doja Cat.
You can also ask Meta AI questions.
Hey Meta, when's Doja Cat's next concert?
Doja Cat is playing at the Los Angeles Theater next Tuesday.
Sweet.
Ray-Ban Meta glasses, available at Ray-Ban stores and other authorized retailers.
Hi, I'm here to pick up my son Milo.
There's no Milo here.
Who picked up my son from school?
Streaming only on Peacock.
I'm gonna need the name of everyone that could have a connection.
You don't understand. It was just the five of us.
So this was all planned.
What are you gonna do?
I will do whatever it takes to get my son back.
I honestly didn't see this coming. These nice people killing each other.
All Her Fault. A new series streaming now only on Peacock.
Heroes and heroines, crooks and crookians, non-binary listeners, ladies and gentlemen, Frank Sinatra. The audio performance you are about to enjoy discusses casinos and gambling. We do not recommend gambling with money you cannot afford to lose or that is needed to pay bills. If you have a gambling problem, contact your problem gambling hotline. If you do not know how to contact your problem gambling hotline, send an email to help@casinocombat.com. We will find that number for you and provide it to you. Our hosts' past performances are not indicative of anyone's future results, including his own. All materials presented here are based on actual facts. Names and dates are magically changed to protect the innocent and the guilty. Some events, unrelated outcomes may be omitted in the interest of brevity and clarity. It's me, it's TRG, the Ramblin Gambler. I am just trying to make a living and doing the best I can.
Lyrics, dude. Recite him some lyrics.
I've been a puppet, a pauper, a pirate, a poet, a pawn, and a king. I've been up and down and over and out, and I know one thing. Each time I find myself flat on my face, I pick myself up and get back in the race. That's life. I tell you, I can't deny it. I've thought of quitting, but my heart ain't gonna buy it. No doubt. Welcome to episode 143 of our Casino Combat podcast. And I have not thought about quitting, and I know my heart wouldn't buy it. That is definitely true. If this is your next time here, welcome back. Thank you, as always, for the generous gift of your time. If this is your first time, our podcast discusses gambling for a profit. Something many people will tell you is not true, and I will tell you those people are wrong. Our podcast is about controlling your feelings while gambling for a profit. If you try to gamble for a profit, things will go well at some point and you will feel like a king. Heck, I once went 58 days without taking a loss. It's amazing. I felt unbeatable. I did feel like a king. And then I took back-to-back losses and felt like a pauper. It happens. Stick around. Be part of our squad. Be a pirate or a poet. We don't mind. We will help you be good at the casino gambling if that is something you would like to do. Each episode, we have something that I call the battle plan, the list of segments that I am planning to do today. We got a pretty simple one for you for this episode. Pretty straightforward. Right after I finish up our show open, Mrs. TRG, the radiant goddess of casino Combat, is going to join us and do her review of the pool deck on Royal Caribbean's Liberty of the Seas. See, that is one of those things. If you're new, part of our casino-enhanced lifestyle is going on cruises that we don't pay for, hanging around in casinos that we don't pay to be in. And that's one way of winning the game of casino gambling, even if you're just playing the game even. After we hear about the pool complex on the cruise we were just on, I'm going to do a Core Koncepts segment and tell you about a wagering process that Inner Circle member Dr. ECE, PhD, fourth to the ring, invented for playing the game of Let It Ride. Not a game I have in my home casino, but I've been hanging around in his home casino, Ocean, enough that I had a chance to see it, and I've had a chance to play it. and it's simple, and I like it, and I'm going to tell you about it today. I think it's a great illustration of the application of the core concepts to a particular set of wagers. I really think the core concepts can be applied to any wager or any game you are thinking about playing, and I'm finding that if I can't find a way to apply the core concepts, then that's just not a game I want to play or a wager that I really want to make. After that, I'm going to do a travel segment. We just went on a big adventure, a 12-day adventure, the biggest gambling-fueled adventure we have ever gone on, and I'm going to tell you about that. I'm going to tell you about it, not to bore you with another, oh gee, TRG and Mrs. TRG went on another cruise, but to illustrate this idea from way back in episode 96, when Trace and Lana took over, this idea of being casino nomads. Nomad spelled with a K, of course. From there, we will finish up with some sips and a story in the virtual VIP lounge. I want to share with you the details about a blackjack tournament I played in during our cruise adventure. There we go. That's the battle plan. That's what we're going to do for episode 142. Before I let Mrs. TRG take over the microphone in just a minute, let me tell you about a few things going on in the casino combat galaxy. First up, it became very clear to me during this most recent trip that our squad does have a home base, or maybe its first home base. Maybe there will be more in the future. Our squad's home base, the home base for the Casino Combat Galaxy, the center of the TRG-verse, is in fact Atlantic City, and more precisely, Ocean Casino and Resort in Atlantic City. We have stories there. Stories that involve us without involving me. If I'm not around, that's fine. I have an emissary on the East Coast. He has a PhD in casino combat, the only one ever awarded. If you are in Atlantic City, there is a good chance that Inner Circle member ECE and his wonderful wife, the Atlantic City Empress, will be around and happy to welcome you and spend some time with you. If not, Nakatomi Tony may be around. His AC footprint is growing quickly and by leaps and bounds. Questing Scholar was just in town, and we spent some time with him. The point is, if you listen to this podcast, you are a member of our squad. And if you're going to be in Atlantic City, let us know on Instagram or in the Facebook group, the Casino Combat Squad, or by dropping me an email, trg@casinocombat.com, spell combat with a K. There is a good chance you have friends in town who would love to meet you and show you around and spend some time with you. The final item from the Casino Combat Galaxy is 454 Rapier. After I announced it last episode, several of you sent me an email, asked for that PayPal link. I sent it over and then sent the links over to you. We are up over 30 people on the planet who know how to apply the 454 Rapier technique to casino wagers. And we're seeing variations and we're seeing testing. Dr. ECE is finding that he prefers a 444 Rapier. I actually spent a good bit of time on my recent adventures just playing a 45 Rapier while we were traveling. That takes out some of the risk and is really a platform for staying on a table and earning points while waiting for things to break to the positive side. Lots of regrouping when Rapier is used that way. It's not about the 454 in Rapier. Rapier can be played with a variety of numbers. Rapier isn't perfect. Everything works until it doesn't. There are losing sessions. But SameBet has tested it with the Don't Pass bet on the craps table, and in his initial tests, it went 4 for 4, all winning sessions. As I said, less than 40 people on the globe know how to play 454 Rapier or create their own custom version of Rapier. In my opinion, it needs to be shown, not told. Time and effort went into recording the training videos. It is a paid product, the first one I've ever done. It's going to stay a paid product. It is $30. If you would like me to send you the video from the 454 Rapier introduction event, that's an hour and a half, and the roughly 2 hours of demonstration videos of me playing the system, it's simple. Send me an email, trg@casinocombat.com. Let me know you are interested. I will send you a PayPal request for the $30. Complete that, and I'll send you the links for all the different videos and be happy to answer any questions you may have after watching them. Okay, commercial over. Let's hand things off to Mrs. TRG for an Oasis segment.
everyone, and welcome to the Oasis segment of our Casino Combat Podcast. Being on the Liberty of the Seas, TRG and I had several days to enjoy the pool complex, so I rated it in the following way. Ambience and features, I gave it a 5 out of 5. In the family pool area, they had 2 large pools and hot tubs on both sides of the pools. Lots of people laying around in the various kinds of chairs. They also obviously had the overhang with a lot of shaded areas there for you if you didn't want to be out in the hot sun. They had a great kid-toddler pool area with its own little water slide and a large area for the little ones to splash around. They had little sensory things for them to twist, and there seemed to be quite a few kids in there enjoying that area as well. The solarium was the adult area, and it was interesting because this was really not a solarium. It was not really closed in like we have seen on the other ships. It was a little bit smaller than the other ships, but the pool was really nice, and it had a little bridge that you could walk over going across the pool. You could sit along the pool with water that kind of circulates around you, and which was really good because the pool was deep. It was 6 feet deep. When you first walked in, it maybe was starting around 5 feet to 4 inches, and then it very quickly went up to 6 feet. And I couldn't touch. I'm not quite that tall. So it was nice to have those edges around to be able to sit up and still be able to enjoy some of the cool water if you didn't want to swim in it. They also had a bar there in the solarium so that you could order some adult beverages, which was really kind of cool too. They had 2 very large hot tubs and one on each side of the ship, and they kind of hung over the side of the ship so that you felt almost like you were hanging off the ship, and this was also sort of enclosed in more of a solarium kind of style. We did go venture up onto the next level and saw that they had the 2 cyclone water slides, which we both took the opportunity to race each other. And of course, TRG beat me. I kind of got stuck in mine, but that's okay. I managed to get out. There was also a different water slide that I really wanted to try, but unfortunately it was closed because it was too windy. Yep, it was one of those hold on to your donut kind of days, but it was neat. It was called the tidal wave. So you sat in a large raft in the slide, and the water kind of pushed you up almost like a half pipe and then back down again. So I hope on another ship we get an opportunity to try that tidal wave because it looked like a lot of fun. Also, in the family pool area, they had a very large screen TV area, which was kind of interesting too because they were playing a lot of sports, some of the football games and things that were on. They were showing those on this big screen TV. If not, it was also a place to do some advertising for some events and shows that were happening along the boat. And then also some music. So it was a little bit loud, but a lot of people seem to enjoy that aspect of the ship there, having that on all the time. Easy access, I rated the Liberty of the Seas a 5 out of 5. Just very easy to go up the elevator. Everything is very clearly marked as well. Easy access to the solarium and to the water slides a level above, and then also to get your towels. Food and beverage, I also rated it a 5 out of 5. In the solarium, as I said, they did have a bar there for adult beverages. In the family pool area, they also had a bar there also where you could get beverages, but there was no food available. However, the Windjammer, which is serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner, is on that same level too. So you could always go in there and grab something out of the buffet and bring it back to your chair to eat as well. In the overall vibe, I gave a 5 out of 5. Once again, people seem to be enjoying their stay, enjoying the pool area, lots of chairs, and we had no issue or problem trying to find a lounge chair either in the family pool area or in the adult area. So, and the music and kind of the sports gave it that extra lively feel. So overall vibe, I gave it a 5 out of 5. Finally, I want to give a big shout out and a big thank you to TRG for making my, quote, big birthday quite the adventure. Hashtag we love cruisin', heart emoji, kissy face emoji, send. Agree or disagree? It doesn't matter. I'm the wife of a rambling gambler. Next on the battle plan, TRG is going to do a core concept segment.
Ford was built on the belief that the world doesn't get to decide what you're capable of. You do. So ask yourself, can you or can't you? Can you load up a Ford F-150 and build your dream with sweat and steel? Can you chase thrills and conquer curves in a Mustang? Can you take a Bronco to where the map ends and adventure begins? Whether you think you can or think you can't, you're right. Ready, set, Ford.
This episode is brought to you by Greenlight. Get this. Adults with financial literacy skills have 82% more wealth than those who don't. From swimming lessons to piano classes, us parents invest in so many things to enrich our kids' lives. But are we investing in their future financial success? With Greenlight, you can teach your kids financial literacy skills like earning, saving, and investing. And this investment costs less than that after-school treat. Start prioritizing their financial education and future today with a risk-free trial at greenlight.com/Spotify. Greenlight.com/Spotify.
Today's Core Koncepts segment is about a casino game that I am very surprised, pleasantly surprised, in fact, to actually be talking with you about. And that game is Let It Ride. Inner Circle member ECE PhD, fourth to the ring, created and tested a Let It Ride strategy. He didn't give it a name when he showed it to me. I've just been calling it ECE's Let It Ride Raid strategy. He showed it to me during one of our Atlantic City trips over the summer. My local casino does not offer this game, but when I'm at Ocean in Atlantic City, or when I'm other places that have this game, I've been trying this strategy. And I see it as based around the core concepts. One of our core concepts, win a small amount and leave, and then the next, or lose a small amount and leave. That small amount is usually 6 bets of a 10-bet buy-in. Now, to be fair, he demoed it to me with 6 units only as the buy-in, but I think there are very rare cases where the extra 4 chips could be needed. So this is like playing TRG2 on a blackjack table where the buy-in that I recommend is 10 units, but the negative exit is -7 units from the play stack, and the extra 3 units are just there in case of doubles or splits during the last few wagers. I'll explain the strategy in just a minute, but let me run down the game for you for those who are not familiar with. There is a basic strategy for Let It Ride, and when the game is played using that basic strategy, the house advantage is 3.51%. You are expected to lose $3.51 per 100 wager. The basic strategy is fairly easy to learn, but it does change as the game goes on. That said, it is a much easier to learn strategy than the blackjack basic strategy chart, not nearly as complicated. The game is played player versus the house, not against each other, and nothing one player does can impact another player in any way. The game is based on a 5-card poker hand being formed, and the payout strategy goes something like this. A pair of 10s or better pays even money. 2 pair pays 2 to 1. 3 of a kind pays 3 to 1. A straight pays 5 to 1. A flush pays 8 to 1. A full house pays 11 to 1. Now we're getting into the good money. 4 of a kind pays 50 to 1. A straight flush pays 200 to 1, and a royal flush paid 1,000 to 1. If that chart sounds a little similar to you, you might be, or a little familiar, not similar, that's not the right choice of words, but if it sounds a little familiar to you, that closely resembles some of the video poker games, the payouts when I play that game. So there are some similarities there. The player bet makes 3 equal bets in 3 circles. This game is normally a $5 or $10 minimum game, so you would be buying in for $50 in theory and making 3 $5 wagers to start the game. The player receives 3 cards, the house gets 2 cards, and then the player is allowed to look at their 3 cards. Each player then gestures with kind of a scraping motion. It's easy to pick up, but kind of a scraping motion if they want to pull their first bet back based on their 3 cards, or leave the bet in play to see the first of the cards that everyone will share, the 2 cards the dealer is holding. Very similar to Texas Hold'em. If you have a winning hand after looking at your first 2 cards, say you have a pair of kings, or if you have a strong chance, obviously 3 of a kind, 3 kings, or if you have a very strong chance of building a straight, a flush, or a royal flush, and basic strategy tells you this, you leave the bet in action. Otherwise, you pull that first bet back. Ask for it to be pushed back by the dealer. The dealer reveals a card from the common pool of cards that will be part of everyone's hand, and again, you can leave the second bet in action or pull it back. You can also pull that bet back even if you left the first bet in action. If you pull them both back, you have 1 unit left wagered, and the dealer reveals the third card and reveals each player's hand, pays out any winners, and collects the remaining losing wagers. Not too tough. Not a hard game to play. Since Let It Ride is often offered at a $5 or $10 table minimum, this can be a fairly low stakes game. Dr. ECE's raid strategy as I play it involves a 10 bet buy-in, and that becomes the play stack. You play exactly 4 hands. Any wagers pulled back during play go back to the play stack. Money won on a hand goes in the win stack, and the wager goes back in the play stack. This strategy most of the time will either win some money in 4 hands or lose exactly 6 units. And I'll point out the exception to that for you in just a second. Most of the time, playing Let It Ride with the raid strategy, you are going to pull back your first 2 bets and lose the third bet that cannot be pulled back. Or you're going to leave money in action and win the bet if you play using basic strategy. As a result, 6 bets is enough to play exactly 4 hands. Think about it. You bet 3 units hand 1 and pull back 2. Win or lose, you have a 5 unit play stack to play hand 2, 4 to play hand 3, and 3 to play hand 4. Then you're done. Take the win stack if there is any and walk away. Sort out if you've won or lost, based on what happened, record your results, and accept that you lost a small set amount and left, or that you had a win because on one of the hands you won more than 6 units. There is one way that you could lose more than 6 units playing this strategy for exactly 4 hands. And that is if basic strategy indicates you should play for a straight, a flush, a straight flush, or a royal flush after 3 or 4 cards are known and a winning hand is not revealed. Those hands are rare. I've never seen one. I intend to use the extra chips from the 10 unit buy-in if I get one of those hands and don't win. You could also just say, oh well, my small set amount was 6 units. I'll play less than 4 hands and be done. Either way, it's going to work just fine. This is a fun little strategy to take a break with from your other main game, or to get some quick play in while walking through a casino on the way to do something else. Played at a $5 or $10 minimum, it is an opportunity to hit a home run, as I've talked about, with a bet or set of bets that pays as much as 1,000 to 1. If you frequent casinos that offer Let It Ride, you might want to learn basic strategy and try Dr. ECE's Let It Ride raid strategy. Next up, we're going to have a travel segment and talk about an amazing casino adventure that Mrs. TRG and I just had. All right, so in typical TRG fashion, the story about the segment to get to the segment. Mrs. TRG had a landmark birthday this year, and she told me 6, 7, 8, 9 months ago that she wanted to do something big. And I guess big can mean extravagant, or big can mean different. And I guess I also have to be honest and say, in hindsight, in looking back, I maybe overdid it. I maybe went for long and complicated and extravagant when just extravagant probably would have been enough. But we took a page from Trace and Lana's book, the Casino Nomads book, Nomad spelled KNOWMADS, of course, because Trace and Lana know things. If you recall the episode where they took over and ran the show for us and did a great job, I never thanked them quite enough. That was a great episode. They did a great job of explaining their unique point of view, this idea that if you have the right comps set up and you have the right relationships set up, you can just go and roam from property to property, resort to resort, in this case, ship to ship, on those relationships. So as we got ready to leave on this vacation, we ended up, and I say vacation because it was for Mrs. TRG. It was a birthday vacation for Mrs. TRG. I always tell Nakatomi Tony, I don't go on vacation. I just live my normal life other places, and that's very true. We did just live my normal life in other places and other spaces, but we packed for 2 different phases. Let's say it that way. And the first phase was going to be an AC, and then the next phase was going to be on a ship to Bermuda and back, and then we're going to go wrap up back on an AC phase again. So that's what we did. We drove to AC. We had, as I said, the 3 phases, all with crazy, crazy good comps. And I was really looking forward to this because I wanted to see what it was going to be like to sail out of a New Jersey port and to see how well that would work in combination with our relationships in Atlantic City. And it was great, because normally we have to fly to Florida, fly to Texas, get a hotel room. There's a Uber or a taxi from the airport to the hotel, then from the hotel to the cruise port, then the same thing on the way back. The ports, the rooms near the port for this particular trip were up over $500 a night for the basic room, and the port was only 2 hours away from AC. So, off to Atlantic City we go to do Atlantic City Part 1, Tropicana Hotel and Casino, Havana Tower, Ocean View Room, free play and gift cards every day for both of us, in addition to the room comp, in addition to the resort fee comp. We hung out in a comped cabana at the pool for part of the first day. We met up with Nakatomi Tony at resorts, then went to Ocean for a whole big bunch of match bets, like 2/3 of a day in match bets, 2/3 of a day's pay in match bets. If we were doing it in dollar a day scale, 66 cents on just that day, plus a very nice Ocean's windbreaker. I gotta tell you, Ocean stuff that they give away is quality. They are not skimping on that. Much better than other places that give out things in my experience. Really happy with the quality there. From there, we met up with Equine Ensign for some 454 Rapier blackjack and a late lunch, early dinner in the new Harbor Lounge, the VIP lounge at Harrah's, where he was staying. We have a lot of squad members in AC. There is always someone around if you want to hang out, eat, drink, gamble, whatever. Let the squad know when you're going to be there. There's probably somebody that's going to meet you and hang out and have fun. We went back to Ocean the next day, another 2/3 of a day's pay in match bets. We just really lived that casino-enhanced lifestyle. We paid for one meal each day on room charge, which earned tier points and reward points, and was paid for with an MGM credit card that provides tier points and free slot play for everything you spend. So the little bit we spent on the meal, we multiplied through 2 different casino reward systems. We ate the rest of our meals in wonderful VIP lounges, often with friends. We received almost 2 days' pay in money to gamble with and gift cards. We played Atlantic City even from a cash-in-pocket point of view when we left. So 3 days of living and gambling in Atlantic City, and we had the same money as when we walked in. So we lost at some tables and we won at some tables. We had some good moments, we had some bad moments. We played even. We spent almost nothing other than a small credit card payment that we would have to make when we got home. And as I said, we multiplied those points all the way through. Meanwhile, this is part of casino-enhanced lifestyle, and this is part of why this works financially for us. Because back home, we didn't run any water. We barely used any electricity or natural gas. We didn't buy any groceries. Our expenses at home were very, very low. That's one of the ways in which the casino combat and casino nomad process works. We were putting Trace and Lana's casino nomad idea to the test, and so far, so good. We sailed from Port Liberty on the Royal Caribbean Liberty of the Seas in an ocean view balcony room, with a comp arranged by Michael Feldman of Premier Casino Hosting. Our Wi-Fi was discounted because of our casino tier. Our cocktails, soft drinks, and waters were comped in the casino due to our casino tier. And let's talk about why that's important. In fact, I'm sorry, I'm going to do me here. I'm going to go a little bit sideways and ramble just a bit. I'll come back to that. I'm sorry. I've been trying to do better. If you get a chance to sail out of Port Liberty, you really want to do that. It's really cool because Port Liberty is where the Statue of Liberty is in the middle of the harbor. So as you're on the cruise ship, as you're getting ready to depart, as you're up there on that pool deck, getting ready for the big party that always happens when you leave on a cruise, you're looking out at the Statue of Liberty. And in this case, we were doing it on Liberty of the Seas. Some wonderful synchronicities there. So I just said that having our cocktails, soft drinks, and waters comped in the casino due to our casino tier was important. So let me run through how Royal works to the best of my knowledge. And this is one of those things, if you've been listening, if you've been with me from the beginning or you've listened from the beginning, you know I didn't know any of this about cruises when I started. So if you knew this already and I'm just boring you, I'm sorry. But if you don't know this, maybe I can speed up your learning curve once again, as I always try to do. You can go on a Royal Caribbean cruise and you cannot buy a beverage package before you go. No problem. Buy nothing. You will either pay as you go, which means if you walk up to a bar and you say, hey, give me a root beer, they're going to take your card, they're going to make a room charge, they're going to charge you a gratuity on top of it, and you're good to go. Bottle of water, same thing. Orange juice, same thing. Starbucks coffee, same thing. In the dining rooms, in the places that are part of the prepaid dining. So if you go to Windjammer Cafe, if you go to main dining for dinner, if you go to main dining for breakfast, if you go to the little cafe and grab a sandwich and a regular coffee, all those beverages, water, juice, soft drinks, that's all part of your cruise. But that same soft drink, that same bottle of water, that same anything else up to and including cocktails was not part of your cruise. You're going to pay for those a la carte. Ditto, if you your cruise goes to Coco Cay, all of your beverages on Coco Cay are going to be charged to your room. Now, you can buy a beverage package which gives you unlimited soft drinks and waters and juices and specialty juices and coffees and all of that for the whole cruise, and it's so much per person per day, and that depends on which cruise. Likewise, you can buy the deluxe beverage package, and now that includes pretty much all your drinks. There are some very high-end scotches, there's some very high-end bourbons that they may charge you $1 or $2 because of the quality of the liquor. But generally speaking, all your beverages, whether it's, hey, I want a water, hey, I want a soda, hey, I want a double Maker's Mark, whatever it is, those are all covered if you get the deluxe beverage package. But the deluxe beverage package for this cruise for 2 people was up over $700. And so we decided, let's try doing this. Let's see if we just use our casino relationship, use the fact that we're at the prime tier with Royal Caribbean, so we get all our cocktails comped in the casino, whether we're playing or not. We get all our bottled waters comped. We get all our soft drinks and juices comped. So we said, let's try that. Let's see how that works. For us, it worked really well. First night, casino's open. Both grab a couple bottled waters before we go up to the room for the night. Both grab that glass of wine or that cocktail to take up to the room and have on the balcony as a nightcap. We love Schooner Bar on Royal Caribbean. They have a daiquiri and an old fashioned that we just absolutely love. And we did pay for a couple of those a la carte. But the crazy part was, with the design of this ship, we were often seated at the casino bar having a drink that was comped and looking right down the hall to the Schooner Bar, to the seats we know we'd have been sitting in, where we'd have either been paying for the drinks or we'd have paid that $700 up front to have unlimited cocktails. Because we had a day at sea, casino open the whole time. So think about that structure in terms of being able to get that root beer, get that bottled water, get that glass of wine, grab that beer, grab that bourbon, whatever your beverage of pleasure is. The casino opened at like 5 o'clock. The slots, not the tables, but the casino opened like 5 o'clock, about an hour-ish after we left the port. And it was open till the wee hours of the night. The next day was a day at sea. Slots were on the whole time. Casino was open the whole time. Bar was staffed the whole time. So on your way to the pool, want a water? Stop by. Show them your Prime card. Here's a bottle of water. Up at the pool deck, that had been charged to the room at $2 or $3 plus gratuity, whatever it would have been. Cocktail before dinner for happy hour? Stop at the casino bar. As I said, just a few steps from the bar we would have used instead. The next day, we're in Bermuda all day. We're doing things in Bermuda. That wouldn't have been part of our drink package. We get back on the ship. We have dinner. We get off the ship. We go on a sunset cruise. We come back. The casino's open. The casino bar is open. Grab some more waters to take them up to the room. Next day, we're in Bermuda all day. We're touring the aquarium. We're touring the zoo. We're running around on the island all day. We did go to this little cool Calico Jack's pirate ship bar. bought our drinks there. Would have had to buy our drinks there anyway if that's what we had chosen to do. So that wasn't going to be part of our drink package. We get back, we have dinner, we go to a show, we're leaving the island, the casino is open, the casino bar is open, and the casino is open all the next day because it's a day at sea. We saved a lot of money and found that we were not inconvenienced at all in any way in terms of doing the things we normally do. We did them just in a slightly different part of the ship, and we did try our favorite old-fashioned, and we did try our favorite daiquiri, and we did spend some time listening to piano at the Schooner Bar, but we spent a great deal less. We had a wonderful time in Bermuda. We had a wonderful time sailing out of Port Liberty. We had a wonderful time on Liberty of the Seas. Mrs. TRG has told you about the pool complex in her Oasis segment. It was just absolutely wonderful. I came off of that cruise and I said, as long as they're comping, this is just a cruise I want to do every year. It's just a cruise I want to do every year. Drive over to Atlantic City, spend a couple days, and admittedly, we spent 3 days at Tropicana. 1 night would have been fine. Certainly 2 nights, drive over, spend the night, spend a whole day doing beach and pool and whatever, and then the next morning get up and go, that would have been more than fine. But I want to drive over and go to Bermuda once a year if Royal Caribbean will let me. Beautiful island, very different in the sense that the previous islands we've been to have all been islands that were colonized by Spain. This was colonized by Britain. It's still technically a British colony. Their governor is appointed by someone in the UK. Just lovely people, wonderful island, very, very comfortable saying, oh, I'll just grab a cab and go somewhere. And I'm not sure I'd be that comfortable doing that in some of the Spanish-speaking countries because my lack of foreign language skills. Not anything about the country, just about my comfort with my ability to navigate that space with the lack of ability to speak Spanish. So I can't, just 2 nights in Bermuda and 2 days at sea, 1 on the way there, 1 on the way back, just maybe almost the perfect cruise length for me in my life right now. Can't say enough about it. Can't say enough about how much we're enjoying cruising and that we've swapped it out for a lot of Vegas that we used to do. Shows are great. Food's great. Hospitality's always great. Casino beat us up a little bit. We'd played AC even. I had been up before we left. AC we played even on the way in. Royal Casino beat us up a little bit on the first night. We did pretty well. Then the rest of the trip came back a little bit. They beat us up the second night. We got $500. Talk about mind-blowing, just to wrap up this part of the travel segment for the cruise part of the trip, for the cruise part of the birthday extravaganza. We finished playing. We got beat up a little bit. It's time to wrap up. It's time to grab those last bottles of water. It's time to grab that last glass of wine, that last bourbon. And I'm like, oh, don't forget, we always got to check our free play at the end of the cruise. I have $500 of free slot play. My mind is blown. Great. We're in good shape, right? We had a couple things here. I spun $500 through Mo Mummy and I got $87. So disappointed. So disappointed. I was sure we were just going to crush it there. I was sure we were just going to get a nice chunk of what we'd lost back. And it was just just nothing. I didn't hit any bonuses. I didn't hit anything of any substance. You know, I always, when I spend money through that way using TRD slot strategy 1, I always expect that I'm going to get half. A lot of times I get more than half. Sometimes I get double or triple what I spun through. But the idea that I max betted Mo Mummy for $500 worth of play and only got 87, big disappointment. And we did lose some money on the cruise. We did, but a lot less than what we would have spent. And I will run down some results briefly for you when we get to the point of wrapping this up. We went back, we get off the ship, we drive back to Atlantic City. We went to see Lucy the Elephant because our room wasn't going to be ready when we got back into town, got some food. And in typical us fashion, following our casino wisdom, always be casinoing. As we're driving from Lucy the Elephant toward the Ocean Resort and Casino, we're checking our app. We're checking our Caesars app. Sure enough, we have more free bets at Caesars. We have more free slot play at Caesars. We have more gift cards. If we earn just a few tier points, we have gift cards at Caesars. And it didn't matter if it was Caesars or Tropicana or Harrah's. We actually stopped at Tropicana because we know that parking situation best. But very literally, casino-enhanced lifestyle, right? We had to drive right by Tropicana to get to Ocean Resort and Casino. Why not stop in? Get those match bets, get that cash, get that free slot play, get that cash, get those gift cards so that our next purchases at Amazon are compliments of Caesars Entertainment. Wonderful. As I said, we had 2 comped nights at Ocean. It's our first comped stay there. We met Questing Scholar and a friend of his for drinks at the Galley Bar. And his friend recommended and offered to buy us a tequila espresso martini. Not a combination I would have considered. And at the same time, one of the best cocktails I've ever had. The tequila was present in the espresso without being overpowering. The espresso was good. Really, 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 absolutely excellent. And great to meet Questing Scholar in person. Great to hear some of his stories, learn a little bit about his life, his gambling journey, that kind of thing. Once again at Ocean, we had 2 days of very large amounts of match play, as well as free bets and gift cards at Tropicana, Target gift cards. I think most of us can use Target gift cards. It's not quite as good as cash, but it's pretty close. 2 impressions of Ocean. It is just about the most perfect resort and casino I've ever been to. Ever. The standard rooms are the best I've had anywhere. Now, there is an MGM property 2.5 hours west and north of my home, and that has always held the title in my mind of best standard rooms. But the Ocean rooms are just a touch better. They're just a touch bigger, they're newer, and they have much better views, amazing views. So Ocean wins, without a doubt. Ocean is the best standard rooms of any place I've ever been or stayed. And the resort itself, everything else I could want in a place to stay and gamble is here. Indoor pool, outdoor pool, beach. Other casinos where I have status nearby, excellent casino rules and limits, wonderful slot machine selection, a perfect 24-hour bistro in the lobby, a lobby bar that every time I looked had someone hanging around, great restaurants. I don't have the status to get in to VIP without help from ECE and ACE, but I've been there several times. The lounge is wonderful. Now that I've stayed there, now that I've experienced it, I would argue that it is just about the most perfect all-around resort and casino of any that I've ever been to. And I realize that's a high bar, but having stayed there, having spent some time living there, not just gambling there, I really think that's true. And we'll see if somebody can dethrone them, right? It's a high bar, but we'll see if somebody can do better. The other impression I left with was that AC is a place where our squad has history. Our squad has a past. It hit me as I was talking with Questing Scholar. He was talking about other squad members he had met in person and where they had been together. And as I sat at that bar with him, I realized Dr. ECE and I sat in that same bar earlier in the summer. We had gambled right outside with Equine Ensign. Without a doubt, Ocean is our squad's East Coast home base. No doubt about it, hands down. So squad goals. Serious squad goals, guys, gals, folks, whatever you'd like to be called, because I'm old and confused about what I'm supposed to call everybody. Let's try to build the same thing somewhere else. Based on listener data, there has to be several of you who listen, live, and play in the Gulf Coast casinos. There just has to be that. You have to be out there. If that's you, please reach out. Let us know who you are. We get Gulf Coast offers all the time. I just got 2 of them this morning. I can fly down to the Gulf Coast almost any time I want, within reason. I just have to make a reservation and get on the plane and go. We will make a point of coming down and hanging out and building the squad relationships down there and making sure we've all met everybody and know everybody and they know each other. We can do that. Or Tunica. As much as Mrs. TRG has vowed to never return to Tunica, I think she might for the squat. Certainly I would come down for the squat. Maybe there are some other multi-casino areas I'm not thinking of. If you are in one or near one and play there on a regular basis, hit me up. Let's build our other regional squad groups. We can do it. We are large enough that we can do that and make that happen. We played Atlantic City even once again. Money we had when we walked into Atlantic City was the money we had walking out, while collecting almost 2 days' pay and money to gamble with and gift cards. We once again bought one meal, ate the rest of our meals in the VIP lounge, and as I said, in retrospect, the trip may have been a day or two too long. Mrs. TRG asked for a big celebration. We did a long celebration. I'm not sure if she considered it big. You would have to ask her. We were happy to be home, but we really enjoyed and benefited financially from living a casino-enhanced lifestyle. So let me talk results just a little bit. I'm not going to do a full results rundown. I feel like we've reached a point in time where they're a bit redundant. Maybe we'll return to them again in the future. If you are super concerned about whether this works, if you're super concerned and want proof that this works, talk to ECE. Talk to ACE. You can find them in the internet, in the Instagram messages. Jump on the Facebook group. There's plenty of people there in the Casino Combat Squad that'll share their results with you. You don't have to trust me. You just have to trust us. You just have to believe that I didn't 5 years ago or 4 years ago put together a group of my friends that I'd really known and then lie to you about it and then systematically introduce them over time and build a great big fiction where they're lying to everybody too about their results and they don't really, you got two choices. You can create a conspiracy in which I have created an elaborate multi-year long con to sell you a t-shirt. Yeah, I mean, maybe. When I get on a t-shirt. The merch store is open, by the way. Go to casinocombat.com, spell combat with a K, click on gear. We got a full merch store up and running. We got some cool stuff there. But that's one choice you have before I get to results. And I'm digressing and regressing. But there's a couple choices you have. You can create a conspiracy theory in which I have created an elaborate long con to tell you stuff works that really doesn't, and to get other people to also tell you it works and also tell you false results, and that we all really are all in on this in order to sell a t-shirt or two, a hat or two, a mug or two. Or you can believe that for most of us, most of the time, the things we talk about work. ECE is out playing. ECE is out playing a 444 rapier and getting great results. Nakatomi Tony and Equine Ensign are out there playing and getting comped and getting good results and winning money and getting free things brought into their life that enhance their life. It's on that basis that I'm not doing a minute-by-minute rundown. I'm not taking 15 or 20. We'll do the $1 a day scale. We'll get through some of that for you. We'll make sure you understand the results. You can go back to previous results episodes if you want to hear details. You can look at the website. Got 3 years of detail up there on what we've done. Not going to do the big rundown. And I'm not bragging. You can all do this. It takes some time to build these relationships. You don't start out day one with these relationships. Nakatomi Tony's finding that out. Not that he didn't know, but he's quickly building out his relationships in Atlantic City. Atlantic City is more and more his playground. Atlantic City is more and more the place he goes for date night and has comped shows and comped meals and money to gamble with, just a short drive from his home. He's built this out and is building it out rapidly. Equine Ensign, anytime he gets to Atlantic City, he has food, he has rooms, he has money to gamble with. He's doing all those same things. The way he does it is a little different than the way I do it. He's a little more craps focused, a little less blackjack. Play slots a little different. I'm a little more blackjack, a little less craps. I play slots just a little differently. But it's all part of Casino Combat. It's all part of living this casino-enhanced lifestyle. So, as I said, from a tables point of view, from a cash point of view, going into the trip from my local play and what I'd collected locally, I was ahead about a day's pay. We played through Atlantic City even. We got beat up a little bit on the ship. We played Atlantic City even again. I came back. I played some more. I finished up at the tables. 80 cents on the $1 a day scale to the positive. So won a little money in cash. Slots with cash. On the ship, we played a little more than we normally do, be it just because we're there and that's what we like and that's what Mrs. TRG enjoys when she's not doing well at the blackjack table. They got us for 32 cents on the $1 a day scale over the whole month of September. From free play, we ended up winning 80 cents. So once again, a profit from playing slots. That thing no one can do. It's impossible. Somehow we keep doing it over and over, month after month after month. It's all in the book. You can download it. It's free. Most people would charge you for that, not TRG. No, your buddy TRG just gives away all the secrets and tells you the results. We netted 48 cents on the $1 a day scale. So we had a profit in cash from gambling. We had a net profit from playing. We had expenses. I don't normally track gas and tolls, but I know they're there. We had a parking expense. We had a Wi-Fi expense on the cruise ship itself. We had port taxes and fees. We had gratuities at the end of the cruise. They are larger than $1.26, right? We have a loss after expenses equal to about 2 days' pay. So even though we won money, we had a 2 days' pay, $2.11 lost and spent. So we didn't quite cover the expenses of the trip with our wins. All the comps, all the gifts, the jacket at Ocean, the immense amount of free play, match bets, gift cards that we were given in Atlantic City, the immense amount of free play, even though it didn't win us very much, the immense amount of free slot play we got, the value of the cruise itself, if we'd have had to pay cash, $32.99 on the $1 a day scale. So almost $31 on the positive after we take away the expenses. Let me ask, if you could go for 12 days and be a casino nomad and gamble and drink and eat with your friends and hang out in VIP lounges and see shows and go to Bermuda and hang out at pools. We went to Horseshoe Beach with pink sand. Yeah, we had to pay a few bucks for that excursion. If you could do all of that for 2 weeks, for 2 days' pay, while not spending money at home for groceries and lights and heat and air conditioning and shout, would you go? Yeah, I wish I'd have won the extra 2 days' pay. I wish I'd have won 3 or 4 so I could then tell you that I made cash money doing this. I didn't quite make cash money doing it. Got some more comped cruises. Those got value. Those have value. Those got value. TRG, what are you doing? Those have value. But that's the question I'm asking you. For me, for us, well worth it. Completely thrilled. Played and gambled for a month. Took 2 weeks almost and traveled through Atlantic City 2 different times and went to Bermuda and back and had the best time doing it and celebrated my wife's birthday and were minus 2 days pay in money spent to do that. We couldn't quite win enough to cover it. You'll have to make that determination for yourself, I guess. Let's head to the virtual VIP lounge. I got a great story about a blackjack tournament to tell you. Can't wait to do that. Let's go.
A little bit of the bubbly.
Welcome to the most must-listen-to segment in casino lifestyle podcasting, the virtual VIP lounge. Our lounge is open, and we have the best virtual everything virtually all the time. The best virtual food and drink served in any virtual VIP lounge anywhere on the interwebs. Guaranteed or your money back. As always, if you can, press pause. Pour yourself the beverage of your choice. Fix a plate. Hang out a little bit as you would if we were together in a real VIP lounge in the real world. And as I would if we were in a VIP lounge in the real world and I had just gotten back from an amazing cruise, the conversation might turn to the blackjack tournament I played on the cruise ship. And so I thought we'd talk about that today. I thought I'd run through this with you, my experience playing in this blackjack tournament. And the format for this one was interesting. The format for this one was a little different. Normally what I play, you have a table of 5 to 7 people, and you're playing against them to advance to the next round. The person with the most chips, sometimes the 2 people with the most chips at the end of the round at your table, move on to a semifinal or a final or something like that and play again. this format was different. There were going to be 7 rounds and then the finals. But to make the final table, you had to have the top 7 most chips of anyone who played in the tournament. So you weren't playing against the people at your table. You're actually playing against all the other people who have already played. So think about it this way. If you played in the first round to 7, as long as you finished with even 1 chip, you were automatically in the top 7. And if you played in the second round, now you're trying to beat, in theory, all the people that had played before you, but score well enough to actually be on the board in some fashion. And then you have all the potential rounds that are going to happen after that, depending on how many people actually decided to play. So I'm playing in the third round. We're all going to get $500 worth of chips. They announced the scores in the top 7 from previous rounds, and they ranged from $300 to $1,200. And I felt I had to be near the top of that to have any chance of making the final table when the tournament concluded. Now, let's face it, taking $500 at a blackjack table and turning it into $300 over the course of 7 hands is not really that difficult, right? It's pretty easy to turn 500 into 300. But turning 500 into 1,200 in 7 hands to be near the top of the board, that's tough. That's a big lift. So I figured I had to start big. You can't start with a $25 chip and hope to get to 1,200. I didn't see any way to do that. So my first bet's 300 of the 500 that I'm given to start, and I lose. So I figure, okay, I'm screwed. I'm done. I already had an impossible task in front of me, and now I've just lost 300 of my 500. So I have no choice but to go all in on the next hand, and I won that. And so my next bet was half, hoping for a split or a double. I got a double, and I won. And again, I bet half of that and got a double and won. And so as we near the end of the tournament, I'm suddenly at $1,200. And not the end of the tournament, but the end of the first round of the tournament. I'm small potatoes on this table. I'm like in third place. There are 2 other guys as we start into the final couple of hands that have thousands and thousands of dollars in front of them. They're both easily leading the entire field if they just back down. But they seem, to our point of view, to not understand the format. Or in hindsight, they understood it better than I did and better than the people around me did. They kept pressing, going toward that final hand. I took the opposite approach. I dropped to the table minimum to finish the tournament, content to be in the top 2, 3, 4 on the leaderboard. They were both all in on our last hand. The dealer drew a 5-card 21 to leave them with 0, and I had $1,275, which is to say 1,275 points, and I'm leading the tournament. And the other players watching the tournament are absolutely stunned. They all felt I had played things properly. I agreed. Now, I'm not so sure now, but at the time, I completely agreed. They all thought I was incredibly smart. I thought I was incredibly smart. I thought I had done great. I'd turned 500 into 1,275 in 7 hands after losing 300 in the first hand. That's tough to do. That's really tough. You want to try that in real life? I don't want to try that in real life. That's scary difficult. So my lead holds up through round 4 and round 5 of the tournament, while the scores at the bottom of the rankings were picked off a bit. But we get to round 6, and this is where things start to get interesting. Some players had bought into the tournament for a second time. You know, that person that had $300 and was in the bottom spot when I started playing saw themselves drop off and decided they'd go another $25 and come into the tournament again. And they played very aggressively. As round 7 was getting ready to start, a score of 1,275 was in the bottom 2 scores. The top score was now around $3,000. And 2 of the people who'd been knocked out of the top 7 looked at each other and they headed to the cage really, really quick. And a guy near me who'd been knocked out with a score of 1,200 jumped up quickly and he went that way too. And now I realize it. Now I realize they're right. And I start for the cage as well to get back in. And I pass the first 2 people and they have the entry slips in their hands. And the next person sees me and says, those were the last 2 seats. The last 2 seats. The tournament's full. And knowing their goal, everyone was aggressive. The last player to get into the tournament went all in on hand 1 and got a blackjack. and all in again after that and won, and it was over for me. 4 players finished all the hands. All of them had a better final total than mine. I was knocked out of the tournament. Lessons learned, or here's the lessons I learned. Let me say it that way. These are the lessons I learned. On Royal Caribbean, confirm the rules, and if the rules are the same on the next ship, I'm going to wait a while to enter the tournament so that I'm playing in later rounds. Watch, set expectations, know what I have to do, and then play super aggressive from the start and run up my score as high as I can. As I said, those other 2 players who reached well more than $3,000 by round 6 in my round and went all in, maybe they actually knew more about how to play that tournament than I did. I learned some things. I had a lot of fun. And I learned some things, and I'll be better the next time. Please tip your waitresses, tip your bartender, tip your dealers. If you have a host, tip your host. Remember your wisdoms, everyone. Please don't tip away your wins. I have spoken. Everything you heard here is true from a certain point of view. In 10 years, we may find out I was wrong about all of this. It's time for leaving, and I hope you understand I was born a Ramblin' Man. Love it, hate it, it don't matter. Please share with your family and friends. Goodbye, everyone. Thank you for listening. The best part of the podcast is next, the Casino Combat Blues.
With new, gentler scented Clorox disinfecting wipes, clean finally smells as good as it feels. On everything from lamps to ceiling fans. Even on your kid's toy shark. Oh, ouch. Clorox disinfecting wipes, now available in crisp lemon. Find it on Amazon. Clorox, clean feels good.
Shaq here, spinning fast-acting pain relief with Icy Hot. Ice works fast, heat makes it last. Icy Hot, you're so back.
For Atlantic City Empress, Casino Combat's ace. There are profits in the casino tonight, I can feel it in my bones. I had a premonition, you should probably play alone. I know the house has an advantage, but that's part of the thrill. If we follow the core concepts, the chips begin to spill. So baby, here's your player's card, put your bankroll in your hand. Use just some of that money now, do it just the way we planned. Just follow the core concepts, and you could win several grand. Well, it's good if it goes down like that, don't have to play to lose. It's gambling as a business, the Casino Combat Blues. Casino Combat Blues. The dealers and the pit bosses, the security and the law, the winning and the losing and the tricks nobody saw. No matter if it's blackjack, roulette or craps, you gotta carry defense, cause you always carry cash. There's lots of shady characters, lots of dirty deals. Everybody has an alias, cause that's more fun we feel. It's the lure of winning money, it's got a very strong appeal. Perhaps you'd understand it better standing in my shoes. It's the ultimate enticement, it's the Casino Combat Blues. Casino Combat Blues. Whoa. You don't see it in the headlines, you don't hear it every day. No one's trying to stop us, and we don't need to go away. We can gamble in Atlantic City, we can gamble in LA, we can gamble out in Vegas. I mean, we're here to stay. Gambling's propping up the budgets of folks like me and you. You ask any casino manager, he'll say there's nothing he can do. From the pockets of the casino, right down to me and you. Me and you. It's a
Mint is still $15 a month for premium wireless. And if you haven't made the switch yet, here are 15 reasons why you should. 1, it's $15 a month. 2, seriously, it's $15 a month. 3, no big contracts. 4, I use it. 5, my mom uses it. Are you playing me off? That's what's happening, right? Okay, give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, $15 per month equivalent required. New customer offer first 3 months only. Then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.